Peace. What's happening, good people? This gift here for Pay Us No Mind, and let's talk about monetization. Soundcloud versus YouTube versus Spotify. Now, what I want to talk about in regards to monetization is two particular things, and that is access and ecosystem, and comparing these platforms on the basis of access and ecosystem. Now, when it comes to access, it's a two-way street. You got the listeners' access to your music and your access to the listener. So we'll look at mainly one aspect of that, a little bit of the other, but we're not going to go too deep into it. The other one is ecosystem, the type of structure that the platform has and what has and what it facilitates. So we start off with Spotify and their access and the listeners' access. Now, Spotify, for those that don't know, does not allow users on the free tier to stream music on demand. So what that means is that if you're promoting your music on social media, be it organically or be it through ads, I follow you on Twitter or Facebook. I scroll through the feed, I see your post, I click the link to go to Spotify to stream your music. And you know what happens? Spotify says, you cannot stream this song. You can add it to your library, you can playlist it, you can follow the artist's account, but you cannot hear this song that you came here to listen to. And when it's about advertising, it's even more egregious because you paid to get that listener to the platform and they can't stream your song. Now, that impacts you in a number of ways. One is it restricts that user's access and ability to listen to your music. So even if they save it to their library or playlist it, they can't stream it as much as they'd like to because they can't just scroll through their library, see your song and say, oh, I'm in the mood for that and play it. They don't have that capability. They can't do that with a playlist either. You know how you go through a playlist and you have all of these songs and you're like, I'm not in the mood for that one, not in the mood for that one. Oh yeah, I'll listen to that one. They can't do that. They don't have that ability. Now, because they can't stream your music as much as they want, what that means is you get less streams. Spotify is paying you effectively per stream, so you get less revenue. And not only do you get less revenue from that particular listener, but also algorithmically it impacts you because the algorithm is based on how often individual users stream your music. The more somebody streams your music, the more your music gets recommended and pumped into that system and the algorithm and pushed out to more listeners. So it impacts you from the standpoint of your music being promoted on the platform organically. It impacts you from the standpoint of monetization, and it impacts you from the standpoint of that user being able to develop a deeper relationship with your music by being able to access it whenever they want. You know, where if they're in a down mood and they want that down song, they can listen to your song if it's a down song, and then you have a moment. I broke up with my girl. I wanted to hear his song when I broke up with my girl, and if you can listen to your song now, your song is that breakup song that reminds them of when they broke up with their girl in that period of time in their life. And you know, them not having access to your music like that kind of like puts a blockade up from those kinds of moments and leaves it up to more so, you know, chance. Like if it just so happens your song comes on when they break up or whatever, then, you know, it's a win, right? But other than that, they can't control it. Now, with YouTube and access, it's not such a big deal. It's not such a big deal with YouTube because of the fact that YouTube doesn't really restrict access of individual users to a song. With YouTube, it's more about the ad, you know, so it's a bit of a friction there. So you promote your music on social media, I click the link to go and watch your music video or listen to your song on YouTube, and when I get there, I get confronted with an ad. And yeah, I got 5 seconds and I can skip it, but it's still something that's blocking me from accessing the video. I can't just go there and play it. I gotta wait this 5 seconds and skip. So it's like if somebody is motivated to hear the song, no problem. They'll wait 5 seconds, skip the ad. But if you are at a point where you're advertising to get people there, or you are, promoting to new listeners and trying to get people to check you out, then that ad can be a deterrent because people aren't really super motivated to hear the song in the first place. They're like, all right, cool, I check you out. And then I come to check you out and now I got to sit through a 5 seconds of an ad in order to do that. Like, okay, cool, abandon. And a lot of people will leave. So that ad that intercepts the video can be harmful to effectively building something with a new audience. So that's where YouTube and the access problems ensue. It's with that ad that intercepts the user being able to just watch the video. But other than that ad, it's nothing. User can watch the video whenever they want. They can playlist it, save it to their library, all of that stuff. So with YouTube, it's just about the restricted access. Otherwise, you're good to go. Now, SoundCloud, when it comes to SoundCloud, they don't restrict access at all. The user can listen to your music as much as they want, whenever they want. They can playlist it. They can save it to their library. There is no access restrictions. SoundCloud has advertising too, but they play an ad like after a series of songs. So if a user listens to like 3 songs or 4 songs, then they'll play an ad. But otherwise than that, the user can listen to your song as much as they want. So that has the benefit of more revenue, also deeper relationship, also algorithmically. So that person can stream your music on demand, signal to SoundCloud that they have a deep relationship with that song, which SoundCloud can take that information and then put you on their algorithmic playlists that are created for that particular user, as well as algorithmic playlists that are created for users that have similar listening patterns to that user. So you end up getting more streams and consequently more revenue on a platform like SoundCloud from free users. Now, when it comes to ecosystem, you look at Spotify and how Spotify not only restricts your listeners' ability to interact with your music, but also your access to that listener. Spotify has complete control over the listener. You cannot communicate with them in any capacity. So you drive free users there, but you can't engage with them. You can't say nothing to them. You can't get them you can't drive them to stream your music anymore or anything like that. You're just walled off from your audience on a platform like Spotify. With YouTube, it's not so much about restricting access to your audience. It's about the fact that there's just so much competition. So YouTube doesn't care, right? YouTube doesn't care whether somebody comes to YouTube to watch your music video. It's not a music platform. It's an everything platform. People there doing tutorial videos, makeup videos, hair videos, workout videos, everything. And all YouTube cares is what's going to get this person to stay on YouTube. So somebody comes to YouTube, if it's workout videos, they're going to show them workout videos. If it's self-help videos, they're going to show them self-help videos. And your music videos are competing with all of those videos for attention, which doesn't really benefit you because artists don't upload as often as YouTubers, right? Like YouTube creators who be uploading like multiple times a week. Some of these guys every day, so they're always going to have the advantage over you. So your content doesn't get reinforced to users because they're just not consuming it that much. And YouTube knows that, hey, this person is subscribed to all these channels. Which channel are we going to show him content from so he doesn't get overwhelmed? So they kind of like pick and choose based on how often the user engages with content. and you being an artist and not uploading as frequently as YouTube creators do, you get the short end of the stick with YouTube. Now, SoundCloud is a platform that is dedicated to music. That's all there is to do there. So all people can do is stream music. And when it comes from the standpoint of competition, on SoundCloud, you got Go. SoundCloud Go. And SoundCloud Go is the premier platform that they have where people pay a subscription fee to listen to music. And a lot of mainstream artists restrict people's access to SoundCloud Go, where if somebody isn't paying for SoundCloud, they can't access their music. So Adele, artists like Kanye West, Kendrick Lamar, a lot of those artists restrict their music to SoundCloud Go, which reduces the pool of competition. Because now when it comes to algorithmic playlists and even user-generated playlists, they can't playlist those songs from Kendrick Lamar and Adele and all of those artists. So they have to effectively go to indie artists and pick songs from indie artists, and the platform itself has to do that as well. So when you go to SoundCloud and check their charts, they have a lot of music from indie artists on those charts that you don't see on Spotify's charts or YouTube charts or anything like that, because there's just less competition there. The people don't have access to those songs, so they can't stream them as much and things of that nature. It also makes it a great place for cover songs, because if people can't stream Hello, the original version, and you got a good cover song there, they'll stream your cover song instead. So it's just a way more indie friendly platform. And in addition to the whole thing with the less competition and users having access to your music all of the time, they also have the fan-centric option as well, where they now pay artists based on how often an individual user listens to their music. So if I stream your music 20% of the time and I generate $10 for SoundCloud, you get $2 of the $10 that I generated for SoundCloud. And that happens if you were responsible for 2 out of 10 streams that I did, or 20 out of 100, or 200 out of 1,000. No matter the number, as long as it's 20%, you get $2 out of that $10. So it's not so much get more streams like it is with a platform like Spotify. And it's not like with YouTube, where it's about ads and your content selling ads. And if a user don't want to sit through the ads, you don't generate no revenue, right? It's about how much does that individual user stream your music. Now, you got to be on SoundCloud Pro Unlimited in order to take advantage of that, but that is an option as well. Now, I got a guide that I got about SoundCloud and how to kind of like take full advantage of that platform in a sense of monetization and fan-centric, and how the tools kind of benefit artists, because that's another aspect of it, where you have access to your audience through being able to directly upload the platform. So you can upload video or audio, where you tell people about a new show, tell people about merch, tell people about new music. You got the description box. You got a lot of tools to reinforce your music and your message to the audience that are streaming your music. So you guys can look out for that guidance. A link to it in the description box. Also the cards. Share your thoughts, man. We'll be doing more videos like this down the line. But yeah, share your thoughts. Make sure you comment, like. Y'all know the drill, man. As always, y'all can hit me up at Payusnomind on Twitter, at Payusnomind on Instagram, Payusnomind@gmail.com. This is Gift signing off. Pay us no mind. Peace, good people. One.